who knows what we're having. I mean, because it might change.
Some coroner was like, oh, okay, that's to cover all
Chairs, probably, fireplace.
Yeah, something is. You don't want to get anything in the mail or see around town.
What's
that? Election? Oh, yeah, they want to see anything in the mail. I said, is it gonna do in the mail for me? Oh, my gosh, look at
Professional.
that. Professional, let's go. I like
I
that.
tell you what, my wife's a professional designer there, you know. Puts those cards out.
Boy, it's tough getting all that together though, I think.
You know, you get a voter list from the office, it's just unbelievable how many people have been dead for 8, 10 years that are still on the voter list. You're just like, when do you clean that up?
Hey, we talk about my constituents.
I don't know how many voted for you last time.
Y'all got absentee ballots?
Yeah, you don't have to notarize right now, so there you go.
Yeah, that's a scary thought, isn't it?
Oh,
You
yeah.
see that.
529.
Oh,
I was watching.
look out there.
They don't tell my brothers.
There you go.
Well, but you know, you had to have a tough campaign because you do all this stuff. Only about 50 days to check in.
Just 6 months campaign.
Yeah, I know, that's right.
Longest election in the history of Pawhuska.
No, he's really good though.
Oh, it is. That's what I'm excited about. You know,
Fired up.
it's just like here.
Yeah.
Hold on, Addie's not on yet.
You text him and let him know it was live. Or internet was on. Our internet was down for a bit. And our electric was sputtering and, yeah.
Mike, can you hear us?
Yes, can you all see? I can see you as well. Can you all see me?
Oh, we can hear you though.
Well, problem is I'm here on my own, so, which means this may be as good as it gets. I
At
can
the
see-
very, bottom, there's mute, and then there should be a button that says start video that has a little video camera icon.
Oh,
Oh,
you're gonna be sorry you did that. Here we are.
He was laughing.
Oh no, brother.
It gets scarier each month on my end, not on yours, on mine. Be clear on that.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Recording of members' presence and absence, making a request of visitors silence their cell phones, and the board members refrain from using their cell phones during the meeting. Number 2, pledge of allegiance. We salute the flag on the side. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I salute the
Salute the
flag.
flag of the state of Oklahoma. Symbols of peace unite all people.
It's unable to connect.
Are you all still there?
yes.
Okay, well, I can hear you now. I was starting to get worried.
No, I didn't know I needed to send it to her. I thought that they were. Like, Zoom. She's working on it.
Just record when she gets online. It's just like she walked in the door.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. We're going to welcome visitors. Any visitors? Number 4, public participation. Okay, number 5, superintendent report.
Okay. We're getting towards the end of the fiscal year, so it's going to look a little bit off this year. So when I go through this, understand last year we paid 3 payrolls in May, and then we had a main payroll in June, meaning all employees in June as well. Okay. This year we ran all the teacher payrolls in May, and then we just had the 12-month employees in June. So the numbers, when we're looking at these, normally you can make a pretty good comparison year over year. This year you really cannot. So so when we go through this, keep that in mind, and I'll reconcile all of it and show you where we're at. So first up is just revenue. You can see we were down about 24,000 in revenue year over year. We've closed out all of our federal programs. I think we've received almost all of it. So I expect all of it to be in. So this number in June is going to go much higher than last year at this time. So, but on the revenue side, everything's going to come in. And actually, when I get to the detail part of it, you'll see we're actually exceeding pretty well. Next, let's go to the kind of the breakdown of it. Let's go first on local sources. You can see we've collected 99.66% of our local sources. We are obviously going to go over that amount. You can see, there's kind of a rough estimate over there to the side of things that are going to come in as well. Okay, so we're going to exceed, roughly speaking, by $15,000 from last year this time. So pretty well hit our target. If you look at the county sources, we're already at 110.75%, so we've over collected. We're going to obviously continue to over collect. There'll probably be only another 4,000 or 5,000 in there. So when you get to state sources, gross production, I bumped up a little bit. It's still coming in better than actually what I thought it was going to be. We're gonna get real close to that $190,000. Now, that's nowhere near where we were. I mean, we were, the year before, we were collecting a lot better, but it's compensated by the motor vehicle. You can see motor vehicle is 137%. It's gonna be way over again. We'll probably be close to 150% collection there. REA tax it's gonna be close. School land continues to lag. I've asked a lot of people in the city to get a beat on that, but every year it's dropping. And they invest those school land monies in real estate, in stocks, and so there should be, in theory, more money coming in every year. Not a great deal, but should be more. And every year it's coming in less. So I'm not sure what they're invested in, but it's not doing very well. The rest of those are all set amounts. They're gonna come in. Striving Readers is gonna have a carryover. It's the only one that's not gonna hit that budgeted amount. Okay, so we've already got those collections in. We know it's gonna be, we're gonna probably carry over about 25,000 there. Federal sources, we should be really, really close on federal sources to all of that coming in. At the very end, you see that 6.4. If you look at the far right column, that's my estimate of where we're going to be revenue wise. So you can see we budgeted for the year, far left column, 6.792. I think we're going to hit the 6.95. Okay. So about $150,000 in the positive at the end of the year on revenue. Okay. Next, let's go expenditures. This is the part that gets a little scary at first. You can see May expense was 1.486 million compared to 1.184 last year. Again, it was a payroll. The payroll just for the teacher side of it was almost over $350,000. Okay, so just that variance explains that 100 or 301,000 more. Makes sense. June expenses will be 250 at the most, but we're really looking at about 220, I think is where we're going to end. So that's all going to be made back up in June. Okay. I think budget wise, we'll probably be over. We budgeted 6.609. I think we're gonna be around the 6.7 mark. So you look at that compared to what our revenue estimate, it's easy 200,000 is what I think will be over and add to the carryover. So we knew this was happening, so we have spent a lot. You know, we bought things we probably in lean years you're not going to buy, or but the money's there not to be, we're at our limit for carry. We don't need any more carryover. So at our special meeting, we'll probably pay off a lease or maybe both leases that we've got on the lights and then on that activity bus. So we get them off the books and not pay more interest on them. If you look at just the detail on expenditures, you can see over on the side, everything's pretty much in single or low double digits left on the budget. Payroll, the only thing remaining is, like I said, the 12-month employees. So we're probably over budget about $40,000 there for the year, but everywhere else is going to come in probably under, to be honest with you. We've closed everything. The girls in the office have done a real good job of, so we shut off purchase orders at the end of May, and now we're just closing things out. So that'll be our normal flow or routine. So when we get to June, we're not encumbering any more monies unless it goes through me. And like those leases will be one of those things. We're going to encumber and pay those off. So finance wise, we're in really good shape. The big unknown is from the state, and we should get that next month. We know we're getting cut. We factored that into our budget. We went over that last month. I still think those numbers are going to be close. but we just need final approval from the State Department of Ed. We get those final figures, then we'll compare. If the numbers come in higher, I'm probably gonna stay at that lower number, because I do think we're just gonna be having a bumpy year coming up. We've got federal stimulus money that will kind of offset anything, as far as we're not going to cut staff. We're not having to do any of those things. So that stimulus money will be there to shore up staffing. And we really are fortunate. We have, I don't know, I just call it stuff. You know, teachers need stuff to make their classrooms run. We have an abundance of stuff. So we don't need, we need to retract on some of that. We have gift fund that actually can supplement and do almost all of it. So, but the only kind of out there somewhere is, and it's something we can't predict right now, is what is the economics of the federal, you know, at the federal level, what is that going to look like? And your guess is as good as anybody else's. So we're in great shape. We can absorb, if it goes an absolute worst case scenario, we've got enough carryover to absorb probably 2 or 3 years of absolute worst case scenario. So I think we're in great shape. So worst case scenario would be just like 10%, 15% drop, you know, bottom drops out. Money's just not coming in. We're good. Okay. So no worries. I know some staff have expressed some concern, and I'll get something out to them and explain, you know, the bad part is when it does happen on the news and 6, everybody's going to be whining and crying, and it just creates that negative, you know, what's going to happen here, and then everybody gets real anxious. And so our job is really going to be reassure our people you have a job. We are in great shape. We will continue to be in great shape. So if any of our faculty hit you up and are asking, just tell them I mean, you guys see the numbers every month. You realize we've added to the carryover last year big. We're adding it to it again this year. Well, that's for rainy day. And so it's getting ready to rain. So that's okay. We're ready for it. And just reassure. And Beverly does a great job of this. I'm getting better at it, of reassuring people.
Say what?
I just keep moving, you know, I just keep moving on. And Beverly's that like, hey, we need to reassure, you know, she just get out there and tell people it's okay. So, but it really is. And so I don't want anybody panicking, because that will happen. Tulsa Public's getting ready to lay off a bunch of people, and they already have, and it just creates fear. And that's happened every downturn. This is the 3rd one since I've been a superintendent that, you know, where it's nosedive. And, you know, if we do our groundwork, which we've done, we're in good shape. So any questions for me?
Mr. Cash?
Yes.
I have a question. It's really not about the finances. I'm just kind of wondering, have you heard anything from the State Board of Education, or are you and Ms. Moore already kind of spitballing as to what it's going to look like in the fall in terms of on campus?
Yeah, we've got a survey out to our parents, and I haven't checked in a few days. I think we had about 170 so respond to it. So we'll have a recommendation to the board in July. We're going to keep our traditional start. Would be, I think right now it's going to be our recommendation. Again, I'm trying to give us a little bit of time, because this thing, every time I think we've got it kind of figured out, we don't. We're going to put a virtual day in the calendar every week, because I think at some point in time, we might have to retract and do that again. And I want to make sure our new staff and our staff did a phenomenal job in 8 days getting that thing off the ground and working. We will spend our time in the fall training to be better at it. And then if and when we have to do that, we're ready to go. Now, I can tell you from the surveys, and we're going to give you guys a copy of the parent surveys. 25% of our parents right now would go vote virtual.
Wow.
So we're going to offer that as an option at all grade levels. We will staff accordingly. So we'll have staff members that just do virtual, because I mean, if you think about that, we're talking about that's about 175 kids
Mhm.
that will be that their parents right now are saying, we don't want them back in conventional school till this is passed. So we're gonna have to serve them, and so we're gonna have teachers just dedicated at all grade levels to teaching virtual. So it's here. We just need to work at it and get more proficient at it.
Okay, great. So next month, we'll get to talk more in depth about that then.
Yes, we'll have the full thing ready to go. You know, our calendar, the only calendar change would be just where those virtual days lie. But then we'll talk to also about how we're going to provide for these students that want to go nothing but virtual.
Okay, great, thanks.
You bet.
Number 6, consent agenda. All of the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at a board meeting will be approved by one board vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. Is there anything anybody wants to separate or anything? Have you just missed a look over it?
Make a motion to approve.
All, any discussion? I mean, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Tolson?
Aye.
Ms. Addie?
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 7, vote to approve an amendment to renew fixed price food service management contract with OPAA for the 2020-21 school year.
What do you want to talk about then, real quick?
Sure. We've had great results with them, great food, great communication, and each year we renew that contract with them. So this is their updated contract to renew here. They actually have all but 2 employees, or 5 open. 5 are not open, the rest are open employees. So as they add an employee, it's a 17-cent adjustment. So we would like to continue with them.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, second. Any discussion? All in favor of order?
Aye.
Mr. Tolson? Ms. Addie?
Aye.
Mr. Tolson?
Aye.
Yeah, oh, okay. I myself, motion carries. Number 8, vote to approve a license agreement with the OKTLE for the 2020-21 school year.
This is the software we use to evaluate teachers and principals. It follows state statute for that particular product, the one that we use for evaluation. So I'd make a recommendation to approve.
Okay, do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor and order?
Aye.
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 9, vote to approve a consulting agreement with Pawhuska Consulting for the 2020-21 school year.
That's David Walking Stick. He helps us with Impact Aid. Has done a good job of communicating. I'd make a recommendation we approve.
Okay. Do I have a motion? A second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor and order?
Aye.
Mr. Tolson?
Aye.
Ms. Addie?
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 10, vote to approve authorization to pay funds for the Title 2A provided by Osage County Interlocal Cooperative.
It's a flow-through arrangement with the cooperative. It really streamlines our operation. They handle a lot of the paperwork in. So we move our 2A funds to them. They disperse. There really is no downside, just saves us a lot of headaches, to be honest with you. So I make a recommendation to approve.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, any discussion? All in favor and order? Mr. Patricia?
Aye.
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 11, vote to approve Beverly Moore to serve on the Osage County Interlocal Cooperative Board of Directors for the 2020-21 school year.
Ms. Moore does a great job of representing our school district down there. She knows all of them, and quite honestly, it's to our advantage to have her on the board of directors, so I'd make that recommendation.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, order, Patricia?
Aye.
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 12, board to consider and take action on motion approving the renewal of the sublease agreement dated May 1st, 2010 between the district and Pawhuska Educational Facilities Authority for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021, as required under the provisions of the agreement.
This is the lease purchase when you pass the bonds to pay for the high school renovations. It was a lease purchase agreement, and then the bonds pay back the lease purchase. This we renew every year.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, second. Any discussion? All in favor, order? Patricia, Ms. Tolson,
Aye.
Ms. Rodenhorse?
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 13, vote to approve resolution for schools and libraries universal services E-rate for the 2020-21 school year. This resolution authorizes the filing of a Form 471 application for the funding year 2021 and the payment of the applicant's share upon approval of funding and receipt of services.
So E-rate is a big funder of our internet access and some of our hardware that keeps the internet running. So we are at a 90% school. So meaning we get a 90% reduction in those costs if we participate in E-rate. So I make a recommendation, we continue that.
Do you have a motion? Second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, order? Patricia? Mr.
Aye.
Tolson?
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 14, vote to approve workers' compensation insurance for the 2020-21 school year with the Oklahoma School Insurance Group.
OSAG is similar to OSIG, but they do the workers' comp side of it. They have a great bid for us. If you look in their pack, total premium minus our credits that we've earned is $17,543. That's going to be hard to beat. So I'd make a recommendation. We approve OSAG as our workers' comp provider.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, order? Patricia? Mr. Tolson?
Aye.
Mrs. Rodenhorse?
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 15, discussion of possible action to approve property liability auto renewal with OSIG in the amount of $134,464.
We had two bids received on property insurance. There's another group, and they bid it last year, if you guys remember, but the price was lower, but their finances were not good as a company. And so in insurance, it's kind of hard to recommend when you know their finances aren't good, and their finances gotten worse, actually considerably worse. So I don't know if you want to say anything. I would hate for you to waste gas to come up here without being able to say something to the board,
Well, I understand.
or at least make fun of your brother.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. No, of course, we represent OSIG and have for many years here. This last year, I will tell you, in the OSIG program they had a 111% loss ratio statewide in the program. So the rates did increase this last year. OSIG, I think, does a very good job with the program to try to keep rates down and deductibles down, especially when you get into wind and hail deductibles. We're still seeing in the marketplace wind and hail deductibles on commercial property continue to go up. I'm seeing some getting $10, $20, and even a $50,000 wind and hail deductibles based on the value of property that you're insuring in the state of Oklahoma and all. So OSIG keeps your deductible down, and by being a member of that, they pay the difference between what you pay in a deductible and what the insurance carrier that provides the reinsurance to the program pays. So they provide that middle tier of protection for the school system. And when they have a good year, they build surplus up, and it helps cover the bad years that they have. So last year, we did increase some of the values of the buildings a little bit. You had 5 vehicles deleted, 7 were added during the year, so a little bit uptick there. But overall, I think OSEG's doing a good job. We've had 3 claims this last year. 2 were weather related and all, and 1 of them is still pending, I believe, in the process on some roofs and all. So
They've been out, just to update you guys, they've been out to look at our roofs, and we've got some hail damage on most of our buildings, if not all of them. OSIG sent out an inspector. They're sending an engineer Thursday out of Oklahoma City to look at some of the damage on our flat roofs. So we're probably getting ready to have to replace some roofs. But they have been great to work with. Their claims people have been great to work with. So I'm scared, to be honest with you. I love saving money. You guys know this,
Right.
but I would be scared to recommend the other group, honestly. So I'd make a recommendation. We would go with OSIG for the next school year.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, order? Mr. Tolson?
Abstain?
Ms. Ronhorst?
Aye.
I myself, motion carries. Number 16, discussion of possible action on approval of property liability auto renewal for the.
No. That one is a non, just, we're gonna move on. That is the competitor. I didn't know which direction, so we put them on for, sorry, I should have told you that for the meeting.
Oh, that's okay. That'll be good. Number 17, consideration and vote to convene an executive session to discuss personnel as authorized by 307B137, where disclosure information will violate confidentiality requirements for state or federal law. No reason vote to be made but for. Executive session will include video conferencing. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor and order?
Aye.
Aye.
I myself, motion carries.
Good to see you.
I appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Get that guy out of here.
I can go.
Yeah, we're gonna close that. Bree's gotta leave though.
That's what I'm worried about.
Bree.
True. Oh, it's got to switch from live to,
Brett does that. I just texted him to tell him.
oh, he does it from there.
He puts the meeting up. He's monitoring.
Okay.
It's for on YouTube live and then our Facebook.
How do we know when it does its thing?
I'm going to just take you off of live stream.
Okay. Thanks, Brett.
And when you're ready to go back to live stream, just let me know.
Okay, I'll text you.
Perfect.
Thank you.